coming off a really good year in New England last year, and he adds talent and pop to a wide receiver room that desperately needed it after Terry McLaurin. So you have to be thrilled with this signing if you're a Commanders fan.
I don't disagree with anything you say, but I want to throw this out there because I got a text shortly after the Diggs signing, and it was from our pal Big Keith, who texts me and Jason from time to time, and he said, just wait till we add BA.
No, that's just not. Why would that? Why would you even get into that business? Like that's
that's
dead and buried.
Well, he lives in Ashburn now, right?
Well, he's bought a house
close by.
Hopefully, this is the last we ever speak of that person as far as playing for the Commanders. But Diggs to the Commanders, opposite Terry McLaurin. It's the best wide receiver that Terry's ever been paired with, and I don't even think it's particularly close. Just a huge add to a room that needed an infusion of talent.
Yep.
All of a sudden, they have a deep receiving core. You know who didn't like this move? Van Jefferson.
Yeah.
He's going to have to
or
fight for a
Burks,
job, right?
Or those guys, yeah.
Those guys are going to be
Brown.
scrapping for a spot now.
But I think that's great as far as the overall talent on the roster. When you add a guy like Diggs, then it does push all the other guys that were fighting for the 2 through 5 or 6 wide receiver spots.
Yeah.
Pushes them all down at least a peg. Because, Diggs, I know everybody's calling him a number 2. He's
kind of one. I was going to ask you, who's the one?
He's kind of like a co-number 1.
1A, 1B.
Along with Terry McLaurin.
Well,
right, JP?
All the conversation this year about Brandon Ayuk was because most fans felt that there was a need. There was some conversation after drafting Antonio Williams that maybe Adam Peters feels like what they have in the room is good enough. That they brought in guys like Van Jefferson, brought De'Ami Brown back. Maybe they believe in Treylon Burks. To me, this is an acknowledgement that they knew they had to get better. Brandon Ayuk maybe was considered, but he tweeted and Instagram messaged his way out of Washington, regardless of him buying a home. He blew it with all of his social media activity, and they got the best guy out there in Stefon Diggs, who last year gave you over 1,000 yards and 85 catches.
Yeah, and when smart, dialed-in football people like Warren Sharp, who we've had on the show many times over the years, when he tweets like this, last year the Commanders had the number 5 highest incompletion rate due to wide receiver error. This year, their number 2 most expensive wideout after Terry McLaurin was Treylon Burks at $1.9 million. Adding Steph Diggs not only was massively needed, his skill set is perfect in D.C. with Jaden Daniels. Great signing.
It is. They get better. They get better.
They automatically get better.
They're kind of like all in this year. Especially offensively.
And with Blau willing to put guys all over the formation, Diggs can play outside. He can shift into the slot. He's going to provide so much opportunity for both Terry and I feel like Chig, with him just being there on the field, opening things up for the other players. I just love the signing. Glad it's happening. No practice today, but he's slated
he'll be there
to practice
tomorrow.
On Friday.
Yeah, and he'll probably talk after
and
the
that's
practice.
going to be a scene. That's going to be seen at training camp with Diggs showing up.
Oh, yeah. If you got tickets to go to camp tomorrow, it's going to be packed.
Yeah.
1-800-636-1067. Your thoughts on Stefon Diggs joining this receiving core that all of a sudden looks very deep. It had this hole at number 2 receiver, and you were wondering, well, could De'Ami Brown step up? Is this going to be Treylon Burks' job? Well, now you've got 1-2 Terry McLaurin, Stefon Diggs.
Yeah.
For that third receiver, maybe it's Luke McCaffrey, maybe it's the rookie Antonio Williams, and then the depth of De'Ami Brown, Treylon Burks,
Van Jefferson,
Jalen Lane. I think Van Jefferson is going to be on the outside looking in.
And that's fine. You know what?
You might be right.
That's okay.
They're probably just going to keep 6 receivers.
If you're going to sign Van Jefferson to provide end of the wide receiver room depth a few months ago, and he's expendable now because you add Stefon Diggs, I have no problem with that. If you have to send Van Jefferson packing, bye.
Yeah. And he's probably helped the young receivers in camp.
I'm sure he has, but he's never played it down for this team.
No.
You shouldn't have any loyalty to Van Jefferson. It's just a numbers game.
It's part of the business.
Right. He'll latch on with another team if he's
JP,
the guy who winds up being cut.
How much better is this offense now, in your opinion?
It's a lot better.
Yeah.
We talked about yesterday that Drake May, with his high completion percentage last year, they actually added A.J. Brown to try and help the
Dobbs.
quarterback. And Washington is doing the same thing. There are no excuses now.
Right.
If you look at that offense with Jaden Daniels under center, they upgraded at tight end. They've upgraded at wide receiver. They have a pass-catching running back in Rashad White. There are no excuses.
The offense.
Jaden Daniels is set up for success.
The offense, and again, a lot of these guys haven't played together yet. When you talk about Chig and Diggs and Rashad White, but on paper, looks really good.
1-800-636-1067. And again, it's the management, the front office doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
They do it off the field, and I think they've been making the good moves like this, Stefon Diggs, to bolster the receiving core. Now, is their receiving core as good as Dallas's? Maybe not.
Probably not.
They've got Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. But
I mean,
it's pretty much as good as anybody
Diggs
else
is
in the
still
division.
good. Diggs is good, but he's 32.
Yeah.
All right. He's not 25.
It's an older
26.
wideout core with Diggs and McLaurin.
But it's a 1-year deal.
Yep.
They're all in for this year offensively, and he's got two. All right, they're older receivers, but they're still very reliable with great hands.
I think the signing makes them the second best wideout room in the NFC East behind Dallas because A.J. Brown departs Philadelphia. Devontae Smith's really good. He ascends to the number one spot, but they have a lot of questions.
Neighbors is really
after him.
good. Neighbors is really good.
Neighbors is awesome.
But he's coming off an injury.
Coming off an ACL tear, and Darius Slayton is the number 2. Sorry, I'll take Stefon Diggs as number 2 over Darius Slayton 100 times out of 100.
Well,
so
they drafted Fields out of Notre Dame, so they got a young guy.
But I would still, like, if you're just looking
On
at
paper,
the top 2 guys,
yeah,
I would take McLaurin and Diggs over everybody except CD and Pickens.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Hey, and you might get some Cardi B sightings now, Cakes. I know
great.
you're dying for
I'm
that.
going to see
Can't
Cardi.
wait.
I can't wait to see Cardi B walking into Rubino Sports Bar in Ashburn.
I mean, she
love Rubino's.
She was spotted in like a strip plaza at Burtonsville like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Just
Diggs
got
is
to
here.
eat.
Got to eat.
Gotta
Certainly.
get gas. You're probably gonna run into him.
I'm
Steph Diggs.
definitely going to see him. He's going to move into my
You're
neighborhood.
definitely, you're going to see Steph Diggs.
And Cardi.
What are you going to say to him? You're going to ask him for a picture.
I'm going to tell him I went to DeMatha, and he's going to be all bitter.
Hey, you know what? Drab T-shirt ran into Terry McLaurin when he's getting a Slurpee. What was it, a year and a half ago?
Couple
Maybe
years
Drab
ago, yeah.
runs into Diggs now.
Drabby, we're going to run into Diggs and Cardi B. Can't wait.
I'd love that.
It's gonna happen.
We'll go get some sushi together, the 4 of us.
Yep.
It sounds like an amazing afternoon out.
So I actually put this up as our poll of the day once it happened. Our Surfside poll of the day, Surfside iced tea and vodka, or Surfside lemonade and vodka. This summer, grab a Surfside, your go-to canned cocktail made with real vodka, only 100 calories and 0 bubbles. It's not a seltzer. It's Surfside. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly. There were 4 options. How do you feel about it? Do you love it, like it? Meh. Don't like it. I want to hear from the people who don't like it. That was only 3% on the poll.
Well, there's one behind the glass right here.
Don't like it?
Matt Myers doesn't
Matt
like
Myers
it.
Or is that just indifferent to it?
You putting words in his mouth?
Well, he
I didn't
doesn't.
say I didn't like
He
it.
doesn't. Okay, you think he's good, but you don't think it was a need.
I don't.
I think it was a need.
I think Adam Peters didn't necessarily think it was a need as much as the fan base did. That's all.
I don't think Adam Peters listens to the fan base.
I think.
Hopefully he doesn't.
I think there's a small percentage of this as being an insurance policy for Adam Peters.
I think you could be right. I think they.
It's a
may have felt comfortable.
he paid a $12 million cover your ass fee.
Yeah, I think they may have felt comfortable with what they had, right? But it wasn't proven. Behind Terry McLaurin, if the speculation was right, Treylon Burks is your number 2 receiver. That's completely unproven.
I think in Adam Peters' 4D chess brain, it goes, well, if this season goes kaput, I'm not on the hot seat. There's other people that would be on the hot seat before me by acquiring Stefon Diggs.
If you go to
Well, he also he acquired a bunch of guys other than Diggs. I mean, he
I
went
know,
out,
but-
he went out and got 10 new guys on defense, and they drafted a guy on defense.
I'm well aware, but the angry mob is still going. You gotta give more help to Jaden. You gotta give help to Terry. Everything's unproven. This wide receiving core isn't as solid as everyone thinks. Look where they rank. Look what New England's doing for Drake May. Why can't we do that here? They're shaking their fists at Adam Peters. I think this is a very smart cover your ass play where it could be a win-win.
Well,
That's
you
all.
might be right, but partly. I
Well,
just
don't say I don't like the play.
all right,
I'm
relax. Just relax. I'm just kidding with you. But I do believe they've watched these receivers. All right, so they've seen them. They've talked to Blau and Quinn, and so they know what they need. So I don't believe that they were 100% happy with what they had outside of McLaurin. I believe that they thought they needed a number 2 or a 1B, and Diggs was out there, and they got him. They just get better.
In terms of their returning receivers,
Yeah.
all right, Jalen Lane, Luke McCaffrey, Treylon Burks.
Yeah, I mean,
Jalen Lane led the team with 16 catches last year of those guys.
He's a punt returner.
So behind Terry McLaurin, they didn't have anything proven. Like, it's great to say, well, Treylon Burks was drafted in the first round. He's got a lot of potential. We really like him in the 50-50 balls. The guy caught 10 balls last year in 8 games.
Yeah.
So did you really want to roll the dice and have him as your number 2 receiver? That's why the Brandon Ayuk discussion was so loud for months and months, because people saw a need, number 2 receiver, saw a guy who was connected to Jaden Daniels. We don't know if they're tight anymore, but they saw that, and they're like, let's bring him here to D.C.
Yeah.
And then he went crazy, but there's a guy who's from this area, who's available, who's working hard. You see tons of videos of him working out. We always talked about, where's the video of Brandon Ayuk working out? You've got plenty of videos of Stefon Diggs working out. And he produced just last year.
He's doing it right.
Right now, according to PFF, the Washington Commanders have 2 of the top 10 rated receivers in the NFL. Why wouldn't you try and do that?
All of Cakes' bets on McLaurin and Antonio Williams, they're not going to get there.
I don't think I made a bunch of bets on McLaurin. I know I met.
You know what? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe
I made
it was Bickle.
the bet on over 49.5 catches for Antonio Williams as a rookie. And
Yeah, that's not
I
going
mean,
to happen.
I know that is dead in the water. Hopefully it was only for $5.
Yeah, but I thought you said you thought McLaurin was going to get 100 catches.
Oh, I still think that.
He's not getting 100 catches.
I think he's. I mean, if
I'll make that bet.
if David Blau sticks to his, I'm going to target Terry McLaurin 10 times per game. He will.
Well, that was before he had
catches.
Diggs.
I mean, I still think he could get 100 catches even with Diggs in the room.
All right. Do we want to make a bet on that?
Do I get an injury caveat?
Sure.
I need an injury caveat.
Sure.
He's never even been in the 90s,
I need
Cakes.
14 or more games for Terry McLaurin.
Sure, we'll do
and
that.
then I will make the bet for let's do $5.
Okay.
That he catches 100 balls.
Cakes always bets
Career
over.
season incoming for Terry McLaurin.
Don't you remember when Valdez said that you should bet unders?
Yes, but you know what? I love Valdez, and he's probably right. He's statistically probably right. But you know what? Unders or not, fun. I like fun. Rooting for unders is specifically not fun.
I think they hit at a 62% clip.
That's a pretty amazing
last
clip.
year.
That's a pretty high
season.
percentage. But rooting for guys to not put up big numbers is not fun. And I'm a fun person. Last time I checked. Really? I'm a fun guy. Yes. Documented.
All right. Well, we'll bet that.
All right, 800-636-1067.
Yeah, how
is
you
the
feeling
number.
about this?
What is your reaction to Stefon Diggs in Washington? It was much rumored. We heard the news break yesterday afternoon. 800-636-1067 is the number. Let's go to Drew in Springfield. Drew, you're on with the Junks. Good morning.
Hey, Junk, welcome morning.
What's up,
hey,
man?
I actually don't like it. I'm sorry. I wholeheartedly believe we should have dumped a lot more into the offensive line. Zeitler's out there. Vera's out there. Another wide receiver for Jaden to have to run around every single time to try to find him. As an older wide receiver core, maybe they don't have the scrambling capabilities anymore. And Jaden was injured, so we got things to worry about in that regard. I just think they should have focused, instead of the wide receiver core, maybe look at bolstering that offensive line or giving it even a third tight end just to help them out and see what Peters thinks about it. But
So you'd rather have a third tight end than Steph Diggs.
Oh, you'd rather have another big fat offensive
well,
lineman.
look, I understand that the center,
yeah, absolutely.
the center position could be an issue if Allegretti's going to be out for a while.
Yeah.
But you'd rather have a third tight end than Stefon Diggs?
Well, they've got a boatload of tight ends.
got plenty of tight ends.
Colson Yankoff apparently is making plays every day in practice. Bates, I know he's banged up. They've got him.
You're not gonna
They signed
find-
Chig. They're fine at tight end.
Yeah, you're not going to find another guy who's going to be productive. That's just walking the streets.
They had a massive hole.
That's
at
better
number-
than Stefon
They had a
Diggs.
massive hole at number 2 wide out, and they filled it with a guy who had 85 catches last year, who played on about 50% of the offensive snaps for the Patriots.
Yeah.
I'll take that all day long.
Yeah,
When you have a wideout room outside of Terry that's relatively unproven and or injury prone.
In terms of the
I was
returning
going to say,
guys,
this is say Terry has a few weeks where he's off. Now you've got a true number one.
Yes.
You got Diggs behind him.
Yeah.
And you can throw to him.
You're not gambling. Okay, Terry.
Now, hopefully that doesn't happen.
Terry goes down with an injury. We really need Traylon Burks or Jalen Lane or Luke McCaffrey to ascend to our number one wide receiver spot.
Yeah.
I mean, that is being naive and foolish, in my opinion.
Right, in terms
now
of-
you've got a real guy that can be the number one if something happens to Terry.
in terms of the returning guys, Jalen Lane in 15 games
Yeah.
gave you 16 catches.
Right.
Primarily a special teams guy. Luke McCaffrey only played 9 games, 11 catches. That's 1 catch a game,
Right.
basically. And then I mentioned Traylon Burks, 8 games, 10 catches. They didn't have any proven production from the guys beneath Terry McLaurin.
Yep.
Now they have a guy that just last year, this isn't 5 seasons ago. I understand his prime might be behind him. But just
It
last
is.
season went for over 1,000 yards.
Yep.
And gave you 85 catches.
If you want to weigh in on the Diggs signing, you can do that on an open line Thursday brought to you by Window Nation. Searching for new windows and doors, search windownation.com. Their windows are measured to fit the first time and installed by experts to last. Window Nation for your home because it's where you live. 800-636-1067 is the number. The big news of the day, Stefon Diggs is a Washington Commander. What do you think about the signing? We'll take more of your calls next.